Again, if you have a question, go ahead now and please use the raise hand function. Coach, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to first commend our opponent tonight. Pitt is an outstanding team. There's a reason that they've had the success they've had this year. Their spacing, the questions they ask defensively of us, we spend certainly a lot of time preparing for this game, and I thought our guys, the difference was our defensive principles and key moments, and be able to, again, take away some of the things that they do really well. And the adaptability of this team is fantastic, and the resilience is phenomenal. This has been an absolute joy to coach in a tough year. And to be here with, one game remaining is really special. But I do want to, again, commend Jay Vidovich, an outstanding coach, a friend and someone who has done a phenomenal job at Pitt in a very short time.
All right, thanks. Your first question will come from Jeremy Price. Jeremy, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Todd. I just was wondering if you felt it was going to take an individual effort like Herb put together to finally break through tonight, because it seemed like the combinations just weren't quite there.
Yeah, we were, as I said, to halftime, the team and to the immediate half, they're very good on the repress, and I thought we were a little bit off on our connections, and a lot of that's just their hard work and their numbers centrally. They overload the center of the field. And as the game grew, I felt we got a little bit better, but we always felt that, again, they extend themselves quite a bit offensively, and we knew that we'd have some really good isolation moments in the channels with Herb and Maloon and others, and we felt that was maybe the difference in the game, and we wanted them to be ultra aggressive in those moments. And so you give a little bit on that, you might lose a little possession, but to get a little possession and not take those moments is really what we had to decide in today's game. And we went with, we'll give up a few possessions, they'll certainly hold the day on that, but on danger in transition, we wanted to be very clear to give our guys the ability to do so. And Herb, he's worked so hard in his finishing. He's always been an unbelievable balancer, but now his finishing's coming around. And just a great young man, and obviously really, really excited for Herb and the team.
Next question is from Jared Kelly. Go ahead, Jared.
Hey, Todd. Kind of big picture. You've talked about it a lot, that this isn't necessarily the strongest team you've had at IU, but this team just keeps finding ways to win and keeps finding ways to find late goals. Aside from maybe just resiliency, what do you think just allows them to kind of pull this out of them, especially late in these games?
Yeah, if I knew that exactly, Jared, I'd bottle that thing up and throw it out every year and see. But no, I've said it all along. This team has a lot of strength in key spots, and up the spine with our goalkeeper, with a really industrious center midfield with experience that knows what they need to do. A goal scorer in Vic, and some unbalancing players wide that can, on the day, as Herb did today, cause a lot of problems. And that said, all of that, we're really good team defending, and our individual principles are sound. We work on that all the time. So we always feel like if our attack's not where we need to be, we can at least keep it tight and wait for the moment. And whether it was a restart today or a transition moment, a 1v1 moment, we felt we would get those chances. Not a lot of them, because Pitt's going to have a lot of the ball. It's the way they play. But yeah, there's something special, and it's been, we spent a lot of time here, Jared, North Carolina. It's been an unbelievable tournament. The committee, the NCAA, did a phenomenal job. Our guys are having a blast, and they've had a lot of time together. Not as much, and they didn't have a lot of time together this year. They've been like in their little apartments, and this has been really good to be together. And the bonding that we've done is kind of taken our team to a new level. We've always had good team chemistry, but I feel like it's at another all-time high. And everyone knows their role and is 100% in it, and that's what you need.
We'll go to Evan with the Indiana Daily. Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, Todd. Obviously, the last 3 games or so, you guys haven't got your first shot, or the last 2 games hasn't got your first shot on goal until the second half. Today, it felt like you guys were more comfortable sitting back. How was your game plan throughout the game? How do you feel about it? And then what kind of adjustments did you make as the game went on?
Well, there's times you can press Pitt, and if you do, it can be very effective because they're going to try to play through the first line often. I thought we jammed spaces really well, and again, didn't get them into their ultimate rhythm. And certainly their best players, I thought, touched the ball less tonight than they maybe do in other games with Vidovich and Noel. But I thought their wide midfielder, number 10, the freshman, was outstanding. He's one of the best players I've seen this year. So again, we knew we could press them at times, and we knew we'd have to sit in what different lines of confrontation that we use and say, you know what, you can have it in those areas, but when you come here, we're going to do our best to lock it down and make sure that they don't get high quality chances. Now, they still were able to get some service, and a couple balls were, in the box that were dangerous, but it was more off service. And our box defending could have been a bit better today. I was probably a little disappointed. I think in the first half they had a couple. But you got to concede some space at times against this team. If you get in between spaces, when you really get in trouble. So I thought we did okay at that, really good at times. And, overall, we did a good job in our defensive shape.
Next question is from Jack Edwards. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, hey, Todd. It's been a long season, not a lot of fans throughout because of COVID regulations, but a pretty sizable crowd today. How important does it help your team, I guess, in these tight matches to have a pretty sizable fan base behind you supporting you?
This was the most enjoyable game of the year, and it wasn't because we won the semifinal. That's kind of an obvious. It's because of that. Our team has been starving for that, and IU fans are the best. You look through the years of college soccer, we travel. No matter where the College Cup is, you're going to see IU fans if we're there, and obviously we've been there quite a bit. That, I felt, was the X factor today. In the second half, in the first half, and a couple moments where you're getting a little bit tired, we kept pushing, and the crowd was a big part of that. Such a big deal to have them part of this, and the timing to get it, obviously the most important time of the season, is just really neat. So our guys are just having an absolute unbelievable experience here.
Next question is from Kevin Brockway. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, Coach, how did you handle the scout for the first game, and do you have any initial thoughts about facing Marshall on Monday night?
I watched a little bit of Marshall today. Kevin, my assistant, was here the whole time, taking good notes, and they're very good. There's going to be a lot of similarities to what we saw today with their ability to keep the ball and possess the ball in the back half. They like to, again, control that. I thought in the first half against UNC, I didn't feel they were super dangerous going forward, but they had a lion's share of the ball. And they're heavily international, similar to Pitt that we played against, with some sophisticated players with experience. So it's going to be, a really unique challenge. I'm really proud of our guys. We have a lot of guys that are putting in really big minutes that are developmental players in our program. And I can't say how important that is for our program in particular. Players that come in and maybe wait 1 or 2 years, wait behind the All-Americans that were before them and develop. And I thought it was a great showcase for our American young players that show that we can compete with anyone, any international players.
Final question goes to Doug Walti. Go ahead, Doug.
Hey, Coach. Doug Walti from the IDS. This was Roman's, and your team's 10th shutout this season. And if I have that right, it's the most in the NCAA this season, despite playing less games than most of the other teams. What did you see out of Roman tonight, and then the defense as well, against a very powerful offense?
Well, Roman gives everyone around him confidence. We feel he is the best keeper in the game. And he's able to take shots from distance. He doesn't give much up on seconds. His air play is fantastic. You saw that against Seton Hall, how much they were able to get the ball into dangerous spots, and Marquette for that matter too. And it allows your defenders to be a bit more aggressive in the sense of their 1v1 moments. And we did that a lot today with Muni and Joey. You saw them a lot step into midfield, and we were playing 1-for-1. We couldn't let them turn in those gaps and seams and let them run our back line. That's when they're the best. And Roman gives you the confidence to do that, because if they do find a moment, he's there to make a big save. And when we do get a little bit deeper, he allows us to also handle some balls in the air, similar to the Seton Hall game. So we're just really fortunate to have Roman. And again, he's someone that is as humble and as hardworking as I've ever coached. He epitomizes a lot what we look for at IU. He's a wonderful young man.
Todd, thank you for your time. We'll see you on Monday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
In momentarily. The raise hand function. So first question then, Jackson, if you could just talk about the journey to get here. Obviously, a very unusual season. What the season has meant to you.
Yeah, the journey to get here wasn't just a season thing. It's been a thing since the past 5 seasons in the works since Coach got to Pitt and took the job. I think we've grown as a program over those 5 years tremendously, and then this year was a phenomenal step up. I think we jumped from 10-8 last year to 16-4 with this loss. I think we did a lot of growing up, a lot of maturing. And we played some of the best soccer in the country, and we showed we're not just here for a short stint at the top. We're here to stay and make our mark on college soccer, not just this year, but next year and the years following.
We'll go to John McGonigal. John, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Jackson, look, the Indiana goal kind of against the run of play there in the 79th minute. Do you guys feel like you're kind of hard done by not getting a goal, at least one there in the second half?
Yeah, we got close a couple times. It's the first time in a game that I've seen, the VAR have to be used for the line. But just soccer gods weren't looking down on us today. But I thought we did a good job after the goal was conceded. We stepped up as a team. We had however many minutes left. We got 3 or 4 more chances out of that. We kept possession. We continued to play our soccer. We didn't freak out. I thought that showed a lot of maturity on our front, a lot of growth. In years past and games past, we haven't done the same thing. So there's some positive things to look at.
Next question is from John Krasinski. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Jackson. Question. Coach Yeaghley for Indiana talked about they really wanted to keep the ball away from, Pitt's most dangerous players. You had that vision from the holding midfield viewpoint. What were they doing so well maybe to, keep you guys from generating maybe more quality chances in the final third? Maybe what was that thing that you guys couldn't get over the hump with in terms of being in the final third?
I thought they did a pretty good job once we broke them down to get in their low block, really defend the box. So it was hard for us to get. We always preach getting inside the box with service passes in the box. And we were just, not able to get in those spaces. We were serving from out wide, which is not usually how we get our goals. But I don't necessarily think they did a great job of keeping the ball away from us. You saw we had most of the possession, but they definitely did a good job in the back, tightening it up. A lot of our chances were from farther away than we usually get.
Any other questions for Jackson? Okay, Jackson, thank you. We appreciate your time. We're joined now by Pitt head coach Jake Vidovich. First, begin with an opening statement before we open it up to your questions. If you have a question, just a reminder to please use the raise hand function. With that, Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was a tremendous battle today between 2 good teams. Hats off to Indiana for persevering, putting away the chance. Our team really did a great job, both ends of the ball and transition. I thought we defended well, we defended high on the pitch, we were turning them over all the time. Thought our attack was very good, our ball movement was very good. Behind, numerous chances from own goals to headers to balls off the bar. I thought we created a lot of chances and it was just off. That's the way this game is sometimes. So very proud of my guys, the efforts they put in, quality football they played, and the way they approached the match. They did a tremendous job. Very proud of them.
We'll open it up to questions. Your first question is from John Krasinski. Go ahead, John.
Jay, obviously not the result you want, but just talk about this Indiana side, what they did well to win. I know you talk a lot about coming up in big moments with big plays. I mean, obviously that was a terrific strike, but yeah, just your thoughts on what they presented for you guys tonight.
Then a team that was very solid defensively and kept the game in front of them, and they counterattacked.
Next question is from John McGonigal. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Jay, we heard that Jackson was saying that he feel like maybe the soccer gods weren't on your side tonight with the number of chances that you had and just not being able to find the back of the net. You mentioned going off the woodwork at one point and just not creeping in. I mean, is that how it felt? Just that you thought at some point it would come through and it just didn't?
Yeah, I did. I did think it was going to come through. I mean, you look when they got the goal at a perfect time for them, because there's just enough time that, if we make a mistake, they can get their second one and put a knife in us. And it was very hard to come back. We didn't have enough time. But yeah, right up to the end, look at the corner kicks we had that almost went in at the end, the long distance shots by Jackson. We had the ball, we were moving on them. So yeah, I felt like I didn't feel like the soccer gods were against me or the team there. I thought it was going to come at the end because I thought our guys fought through, they executed, and just came up short. And some of that goes to Indiana. Just that's the nature of our game.
Do we have any other questions for Jay? Okay, seeing none.
Jay, just one quick one. I mean, just this season as a whole, Jackson was able to talk about it a little bit. He said, it was a 5 years or multiple years in the making to get to this point. Obviously bitter pill to end this way. But I mean, what can you say about the season as a whole, reaching the College Cup?
Well, for us, I think it was tremendous. We have to note that when we started the preseason in August, we didn't know if we were going to have a season, if we were going to have a game, or if we were going to be practicing all year. We didn't have an idea. And fortunately, the leadership in the ACC decided that we would have a season. What an opportunity to grow and mature. And I think the long-term effects for our team will be tremendous, that we were able to compete during the fall and train properly as a team and compete. So what an opportunity for us to grow, and now to take the step to playing in the ACC championship during the fall and push on it. We had chances to grow during the off season because we didn't grow enough. We were a little bit immature, and the opportunity to play in the spring, that we had a championship to play there with the NCAA. What another opportunity for us to play. And as Jackson noted, we were able to grow. We were able to grow, and from every loss, I don't think anybody wants to see us in the next game if we had another game, because we would grow. It happened throughout this tournament. It happened throughout the season. Every loss, we really grew, and we grew out of wins as well. So it was a great opportunity for us as a program, for the guys to mature, play, compete. Level of competition was tremendous, and they grew. They accepted the challenge, and just very proud of the way they competed and represent our university.
I've got one final question from John Krasinski. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Jay, just kind of a two-part question. What was said to the team, both at the half, when you were kind of knocking on the door and playing on your front foot, and then after the match, where in terms of what was to be said to the players, and I know it was a tough loss, and what was the message to them?
John, we got two pieces on that. So the first part, what did we say at halftime, was we wanted to get tighter and higher. We thought we could find the ball into Val's feet a little bit more, and we could push on the game. When we thought we would have them push back, we wanted to make sure we were moving the ball and trying to find seams and half spaces, because as Jackson noted, there was a pretty good strong bank of at least 8 to 9 players in their 18. So we wanted to be able to try and move them, stay patient on that, and not get anxious on the ball. I'm sorry, the second part of the question was?
Just, after the match.
After the match, for sure, it's just, you just have to tell them how proud you are of them, their growth, how they played. Once again, the growth of our program, the the quality of our bench now growing, people, coming in and helping us out, the way the guys compete all the way through the end. They didn't give up. They didn't choke in this situation. I talked to them about how this game is loved throughout the world because the underdogs can sometimes win. And I'm not saying Pitt was the underdog nor Indiana, but I for sure thought that we dominated the game. And that, I think, makes it special is that going in there, sometimes the team that dominates doesn't always win. And we take that as a lesson. I thank them for their efforts, and I thank my staff and administration for everything they've done to help us grow to this level.
Jay, thank you for your time. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. Appreciate it.